It seems like WWE are losing its reputation day by day. From fans celebrating that the company is finally in the hands of somebody we can possibly trust, to then it getting probably worse than before. Crazy ticket prices. The amount of ads that make it feel like you're visiting an adult site. The Great One grew his Coco Jumbo by 2 whole inches. Click to find out how. And now the Greedomania. Lately it's getting so bad to the point that they somehow made Vince McMahon the touchy person. They made him look like the good guy in the story. Stay tuned, it's pretty wild. So we'll talk about a positive Vince McMahon story, WrestleMania, Andrade leaving WWE, and a controversial WrestlePalooza decision. Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. How are you guys doing today? So this is how I view the WWE. You have Vince's WWE, you had Triple H's WWE for a short period of time, and now it's the TKO WWE. Triple H is pretty much responsible for all the terrible booking decisions we see, but most of the greed comes from TKO. It's getting so bad to the point that it feels like WWE don't understand the fans anymore, but they do understand the money. And what I'm about to read, people, to y'all, it's pretty wild because this is literally TKO talking, as if it's a good thing. TKO President Mark Shapiro states that Vince McMahon was primarily pricing tickets for families and wasn't focused on maximizing the opportunity to increase said prices like TKO is focused on doing. So basically, let me translate that to human words. Vince McMahon tried to make sure the families can watch the WWE. It was affordable back then. But we, TKO, we ain't doing that shit. Vince McMahon was an idiot because he didn't realize you can squeeze every dollar these stupid ass fans have. This is basically what he said. You know, there's a longer interview and he basically said Vince McMahon didn't see the opportunities. The opportunities, people. You know the vibe I'm getting from this? It's like WWE are squeezing everything they can, and eventually it's gonna get sold to Saudi. That's the feeling. I'm sorry. That's the feeling I get. Hold me now. People, when it comes to Vince McMahon, look, I'm not one of these delusional people who are like, Vince McMahon was always great. Like, watch WWE before Triple H took over. It wasn't that great. Let's be honest right here. It had its moments, obviously, but I feel like he was kind of too old probably to run the company, and he made a lot of stupid ass decisions. But people, here's the thing. He loved this shit. WWE was his baby, people. So, yes, he had these opportunities to make a lot of money, but there's a reason you never saw sponsors on the ring, on the tables, because in some sense, even though he changed wrestling, he made it into sports entertainment, he still respected some kind of a tradition. That's how I feel, at least. Don't get me wrong, Vince McMahon did a lot of horrible, vile shit. I'm not trying to compliment him, but the fact that he was still somewhat at least listening to the fans and making sure people can attend, that's kind of beautiful anyway. I can respect that. I can definitely respect that. When it comes to TKO's WWE, remember we used to have these consecutive sellouts. And instead of WWE appreciating the growth, the success, the excitement from the fans, all they did basically was, well, that means we can sell that shit for a higher price. We can sell that shit for a higher price! And of course we have this WrestleMania in Saudi announcement, the only WrestleMania we're getting in 2027. Now look, people, no matter what some marks are saying on the internet, I'm trying to be real. I want you to look around wrestling YouTube right now. From now on, I want you to look around. Maybe there's going to be a wrestling show you actually enjoyed. You know, the matches were good, the segments were good, but all of a sudden everyone's making negative videos. And sure, WWE can be really bad. One of the reasons why sometimes I just take a break. What I'm trying to tell you is that people, content creators in general, are not gonna distinguish the company and the product, because these are two different things. WrestleMania is in Saudi, so that means every Raw and SmackDown sucks now. I want you to look at YouTube pretty closely now. My biggest problem with the WWE is that lately it can be really boring. It's really repetitive. It's like watching the same show over and over again. But when you get these news, releases, or anything, people are like unable to look at shit objectively. And we get the circle jerk. And people lose the ability to view the product and the company, the business side, separately. I did not like this announcement. Triple H looks super excited. It's greed and money. People are saying, why is it not in UK? Cat, it's money. It's pretty obvious. Nobody is going to pay that amount of money for WrestleMania. It's understandable. It sucks that WWE sold out. Like, that's what people are saying. That was the entire chat, people. And whether it's a good or a bad business decision, that is just kind of factual. They did sell out. I was always under the impression that if we're going to get WrestleMania in Saudi, it's going to be a WrestleMania. We're gonna have a WrestleMania. Super WrestleMania, meaning that the actual WrestleMania is still going to happen in the States. I hate that it's not gonna feel the same. It's gonna be weird. The crowd reactions are gonna be whatever. It's just a different vibe. And maybe if WWE, actually treated these Saudi shows like they matter, maybe we would feel a little bit differently. But in general, I hate how greedy this company is getting. Like, it's reaching new levels every single month. And people, what to expect now? Are we supposed to expect that from now on, WrestleMania, because of the amount of money they're gonna pay, is gonna be in Saudi every year? Is that an actual possibility? What I hate about it is that they always make these announcements, how many tickets we sold, how expensive these ticket prices are, how much you're actually gonna have to pay to watch wrestling now, and they're always treated like we should be excited about it. And you gotta be a next level, like, fanboy or whatever to actually feel like it's a good thing. Sure, it's good for the growth of the company, probably. They're making money, you're not. You're just getting fucked. So do I have some disdain for the WWE, the business? Absolutely. Will it stop me from looking at wrestling objectively with all of these latest shenanigans? No. When it's good, it's good. When it's bad, people. The business side doesn't really have anything to do with that. This sounds somewhat exciting. Dave Meltzer indicated that The Undertaker, The Rock, Steve Austin, Shawn Michaels are some of the legends who will be offered a huge payday to return to the ring at WrestleMania 43 in Saudi in 2027. I don't know if I should be excited, concerned, or sad, or mad. I don't even know. Well, I do find it interesting. Stone Cold Steve Austin, yeah, you could get a match out of him. The Rock, definitely. Undertaker, I'ma watch. Most people who are gonna bitch about it, they're gonna watch, trust me. Shawn Michaels, it's hilarious. It's universe mode shit. It's stupid. But these kind of chaos kind of make me excited anyway. Like, not gonna lie. It could end up being one of the most greedy, stupid ass decisions of all time. Man, you made that decision, and if it goes wrong, we can laugh about it. So when it comes to business side of the WWE TKO, there's barely anyone who hates it more than me. I just really wanted to point that out, because now, of course, most of you are reasonable. There are some idiots on everybody has a voice. So now there's going to be this expectation that everybody has to be negative, even if it's a good PLE. You can't enjoy it. I hate that mentality, so nothing on this channel is going to change. People, Andrade apparently is no longer with the WWE. We don't really have many details. Some sources indicated, though, that he didn't ask for his release. That is pretty wild. He was in the WWE, then AEW, then WWE again, and he barely did shit. His matches were great. I enjoyed his wrestling. I think he kinda... And I hate saying this, but obviously... what hindered his WWE, at least, career is the language barrier. That's pretty much it. He can't really cut a good promo, which is understandable, but that's what WWE is all about. I always told you, I feel like promo work, in WWE specifically, matters more than in-ring work. That's just the way it is. They're about telling stories. Andrade is pretty limited in that department. Am I sad seeing him go? Absolutely. I feel like when he was wrestling on SmackDown, you did get a lot of cool stuff. One of the first matches my wife actually saw was in 2019. It was Rey Mysterio versus Andrade. She absolutely loved it. That's what made her actually like wrestling. It's a shame WWE never really found anything for Andrade. We always go back to the same question, then why the fuck did you bring him back? If you had no plans whatsoever, was it just to sign an AEW guy? Finally, Joe Testicles told ESPN that John Cena vs. Brock Lesnar is gonna be your main event of WrestlePalooza, which pretty much says AJ Lee and Punk vs. Becky and Rollins is not, which is something people find controversial. Why is it not AJ Lee's return match being in the main event? And I see a lot of shitty ass takes. I, for one, am equally excited about both matches. I'm interested, whatever. But someone that is not that deep into wrestling, especially it being on ESPN, maybe some new sports viewers, whatever, obviously it's gonna be John Cena versus Brock Lesnar who's gonna sell this premium live event. That's the thing. The star power is immeasurable. It's also a singles match. One of the last John Cena matches in the WWE, one of the biggest WWE rivalries, and AJ's match is a mixed tag team match. You know, you just gotta look at that shit realistically sometimes. It would be easy for me to pick up the microphone and tell you that, it's not fair. That's not how the world should work. She just made her return. You know what, people, I don't know if it's even a hot take. Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit which match is the main event? Doesn't really matter. Anyway, they somehow made Vince McMahon look good. The greed is over the charts. And one day, they're gonna make us start wearing WWE hats to watch the product. Thank you for watching.